fall through, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it was COVID related. The one of the buyers got furloughed.
Oh.
Yeah, so because of COVID, he didn't get sick. He got furloughed.
Gotcha.
He thought he could still buy a house like being unemployed.
Oh, so there's that. That's a little difficult.
The lender's telling our attorney, they're like, well, they really like the house, and our attorney's like, well, they clearly can't buy it now, unfortunately,
There's like a $2 million house down the street from me that I love, but
yeah, crazy.
Well, some people just their level of ability to comprehend reality is not where it should be.
Yep.
Good morning, Tara. How are you? You're muted.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I don't know if you heard or saw in the chat. Teresa's internet is down this morning, so I believe she's listening in, but she just can't see everything. So she asked me if I would run the meeting this morning.
Awesome. Yay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you have any awesome successes this week?
Awesome successes. Yes, I put a house under contract. Yay. And I have both sides. Double.
Oh, nice. That is exciting.
So, yeah, and I'm working with Teresa to I just reset my 100%, so I'm looking to cap sooner than I did last year.
Well, we will be cheering you on, so just know that we will be cheering you on this month and over the next couple. So what's your goal? Are you looking to cap in 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 6 months?
1 month would be awesome. I would say last year I did it in 6 months. Now I'm looking to do it in 3.
I think you've got this. So go get it.
Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, it looks like we've kind of got a little bit of a smaller group today. So we will go ahead and kind of start with our breathing techniques. I don't know if I'm as prepared for that as Teresa normally is, but I will do my best. So everybody just kind of close your eyes, kind of settle into your little area. Pay attention to what you're thinking about. Be mindful about the thoughts inside your brain. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, make sure you breathe out where you can kind of hear your breath and do your ha breath. And breathe out anything negative in your brain. Just let it go away. Any bad thoughts, just let them out with your breath. Then breathe in again. And as you breathe in all positive thoughts. Everything that's going to be great that's going to happen to you today, breathe that in. And then as you breathe it out, just let anything negative, any tension, anything that's a blocker, anything that's stopping you, just let it go. And do that 4 more times. And when you breathe in, just kind of quietly count to 4 and then breathe out and focus on the quietness in between your breaths. And then breathe out. And just focus on your space. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in with positive thoughts. And breathe out. And take one more big, deep breath in. And breathe out. And as you guys open your eyes, just kind of open your eyes and maintain that level of positive thought that's kind of going on in your head. And just focus on kind of keeping it there all day. When you're ready, just open your eyes. Awesome sauce. All right, so I will ask the famous question. What are we needing to talk about today? What is everybody having challenges with? Are you looking for more buyer help, more seller help? Does anybody have anything specific that you want to kind of go over today?
We had an idea this morning. We started running more Facebook ads, and
Okay.
you know, when you call them and they're like, "Oh, we were just clicking and looking." I thought to try to get the conversation going. You know, even if they weren't looking to buy, that's fine. But I mean, if they're like obviously took your call, to maybe get them set up on a neighborhood nurture for their house, and say, if you like, we could get you, keep you informed on what's happening in your specific neighborhood, and then obviously try to get the data and get their home address and get them on a monthly neighborhood nurture. So we're at least touching them, even if they're not, if they were just clickers or whatever, just a way to touch it. So I came up with the idea, but I said, I don't know how the heck that freaking script would look. So,
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think that's a great one. So yesterday on the mastermind, we actually talked a little bit about, did you guys all do the mastermind over Monday and Tuesday? Did y'all log into those calls?
No, we're newer to it, and I was still kind of, I'm still lost as to what we have, and we're, it's a lot.
That's it. So that was actually one of the conversations that we had yesterday. The way the calls worked was we came into a big group with everybody, and then they broke us out into rooms for about 18 minutes, and we did script practice on one subject, or we talked about how, those 8 people are implementing that in their businesses. And so what we actually talked about yesterday was follow up with those type people. So do we want to maybe talk about, like, let you guys and one other person kind of role play what that might look like on a phone conversation, and then maybe just brainstorm a little bit about what those follow-ups might look like? Because to me, it's not so much with somebody like that about the initial conversation. It's more about the follow-up conversations and where you're going and how you keep in touch with them, right?
Is there a video or anything on that we could check out? Do they record it?
Let me ask Teresa. John, who I believe he's kind of over the maps, at least he's over Teresa, because he and I and Teresa have had conversations before. Let me find out if any of those Zoom calls were recorded. I'm not sure. I was just a participant. I had no hand in setting them up or recording them or whatever. Right. And then I don't know, because what they did, it was a big group of, and I don't know how many big groups they had, probably hundreds. But it was a big group of, like, maybe there was 13 or 14 pages of people. And then they would break us out, and we would kind of each brainstorm the same topic, and then we would come back together. And there was about a 15-minute window that we would have each group. We had a presenter in each group that would present. So let me find out, and I'll have Teresa send that out if there was any recordings on any of that, because it was really good information for sure. All right, so do you guys want to be, Teresa just said it's the spring mastermind, so I don't know if that means, let me open my chat, hold on a second. Kind of watch it go. Teresa, if you can hear us, was that recorded in any way? If you'll just post, that would be great, and I'll let everybody know. But John and Beth, do you guys want to be the agent in that call, or do you guys want to be the potential buyer?
Buyer.
Buyer. All right. Nadine, Diane, or Tara, who would like to be my agent?
I can be the agent.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to get our timer started. I believe we normally have 3 minutes.
I'm on them all the time.
All right, reset. All right, you guys go right ahead.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, John. It's Diane Stanley with Keller Williams. How are you and Beth today?
Hi, Diane.
How are you today?
We're doing good. Bright and sunny here.
Good. I noticed that you were registered on one of our Facebook ads with one of our listings, and I was calling to see how I could best help you.
And we were literally just kind of clicking around to see what's out there.
Okay. And may I ask what specifically you might be looking for so that I could assist you with that?
We're really just getting the process started to figure out what we're looking for.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, do you have a home that you think you might be interested in listing before you buy, or what is your particular situation right now?
No, we're renting month to month right now.
You're renting. Okay, great. And when is your lease up?
It's month to month.
Okay, so it's month to month, so you could really purchase at any time.
Yeah, we've got time, just trying to find the right one.
Okay. And about what price range were you considering?
You know, my number's different from my wife's number.
Oh, okay, Beth. All right. Well,
And
have
it
you,
depends on the property, if it needs work or if it's turnkey.
okay. So let me ask you this. Have you already kind of gotten yourself pre-qualified?
No, I check the Credit Karma. I know we're doing okay. We'll be fine.
Okay. Well, if I may, I'd like to offer some assistance there. We have our own lender with Keller Williams, and you save thousands of dollars in lender fees. And if you take a loan out, you even get $1,000 back that you can use to buy
How
down
does
the
that work?
interest rate or whatever. But if you're interested, I could send you the link, and you could go ahead and get pre-qualified, because anytime you decide to make an offer on a home, of course, we have to present that along with your offer. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think, just trying to find the house first, and then we'll go through the process.
Okay, okay. Well, I can put you on a home filter that would allow you to see at your own leisure the new homes that come on the market immediately. Would that be of interest to you?
Can you explain a little more?
Okay. Well, what I do is I'll take your email. You give me your criteria for what you're looking for in a home. And I set it up in HAR so that you receive daily immediate alerts with homes that fit your criteria in the area that you want to live in, so that you can view leisurely at your own time. And then you can call me, or I can touch base with you on a weekly basis to see if you'd like to go view the property. No obligation.
No, I think, we're just going to, kind of click around until we, see something that interests us.
Okay.
Great job.
Yeah, absolutely great job. So Nadine and Tara, I'm going to ask for your feedback first, and just kind of say something great you did and something that you would have done differently.
Okay. I love using Keller Mortgage. I don't use that.
That was huge.
So I was curious to know, has anyone used that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, how was the process?
They've improved a lot since the last time, and I refer all of my clients now to them. I send them the link. It's so simple and easy, and I'm also refinancing with them, so it's been wonderful.
Okay.
You're refining your personal property with them?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. And Melissa Rush is awesome. If you want to give her name to your clients, they can ask for any particular person at Keller Mortgage, and she could even send them the link personally so that it's attached to you, so that it's all linked.
Yeah, we did our one that way too, but they've got to be licensed in certain states. I don't know what state you're in.
Texas.
Yeah, so yeah, we're in Illinois.
Good for you.
Yeah. John wants to go to Texas.
Well, come on down. We'll have it.
Awesome. Now, do you have any feedback or anything, Tara, that you would have done differently?
No, I mean, she was right on point.
They were fun.
Well, and you kept on, like, I don't know. I feel like I probably would have given up at some point because I probably would have ended it a lot sooner. So you did a good job of just continuing to ask the questions. So that was
and spin into different stuff, so you weren't sucking on one thing and trying to harp on it.
Right.
That was good.
That was very good.
Yeah. So I agree with everybody. My only feedback would have been the value you gave was amazing. There was value in every statement. So you told them about the mortgage. You told them that you could set them up on a search. The only thing I would have done a little bit differently, or the only thing I would have added, I don't know if differently is the right word, I might have collected a little bit more personal data. So what is your time frame?
Well, I thought I asked that, so I'm sorry if I didn't.
Where are you looking, where are you looking to move? I would have just given gotten a little bit more in the questions and given them a little bit more chance to talk.
Right.
Because at that point, that would have given me the ability to say, okay, well, their time frame is 6 months. Well, I talked to somebody this week. I was doing a follow-up on an expired that I had done, and talked to her probably 3 times now. And she told me to call her back in 3 months. So I have a tickler in command to call her back in a month and a half. She texted me yesterday, can you come to the house tomorrow? We think we're ready to list. And so just find out a little bit more maybe about what their path is going to look like, because on the back end, that'll give you the ability to know how to service them.
Yeah, he kind of kept shutting me down when.
He did.
So that's why I kept saying, well, I can put you on the filter. Tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for. And he didn't want to go there.
He didn't. He was difficult, and we definitely run into that. And you did a great job keeping them on the phone until you kind of got there. So just make sure that those questions you're asking are data collecting questions, and what you're providing is value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job.
Comment is motivation. I don't know what their.
Yeah.
Well, he did keep shutting you down. So a lot of times I like to ask about more motivation, just so I can start painting a picture and seeing them there. Oh, you're looking for a larger home, awesome, and then kind of paint that picture. But yeah, I mean, in 3 minutes it's kind of difficult to ask every question. It sounds like you were getting. Mm-hmm.
Yes. 3 minutes is definitely difficult. And if you find their motivation, and when you have the most information that you can before you exit the call, when you call back, you can say, oh guys, by the way, I know you were looking for 6 months because your grandbaby was due in 9 months or 8 months, and you want to get closer to them or whatever that looks like. How's the pregnancy coming along? You can start the conversation the next time with something that's a little bit more personal, right? Because if you build that relationship with those people, that builds the trust with them. Awesome job, guys. Yay. All right. Who has something else? Nadine just disappeared.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know, with the mastermind, what other items did you guys go over? Because I didn't have a chance to join yesterday, and I didn't have a chance to join the mastermind. So
they went. So I was. The first day, Monday, was a lot of talking heads. It was a lot of the same data that we kind of get pushed out when you go to a class. Yesterday, I was only able to listen to the first 2 hours. We did a lot on Facebook leads. So we talked a lot about how are people using Facebook, what kind of ads are they running, how are they doing follow-up with those ads, because a lot of people it sounded like from my group that a lot of people were posting them and they were getting 50, 60 leads on those 10 days that they were posting the ads, but the follow-up to them is difficult because you pick up the phone and you call and a lot of those numbers just ring. So you don't know if it's a good number or if it's a bad number, if it's a good email address, if it's somebody's junk email address. How do you weed through all of that? And there were some really good feedback on that. A lot of the agents kind of had different systems that they had found. Either I'll call the person 3 times or I'll email them 4 times and just kind of see what the response is, and that kind of dictated what kind of plan they put them on. The other call that I was on yesterday was what's next in your business, like who's the next person to hire. And so they went over a few different, at least in my group, they went over a few different models and platforms that are relevant to our system in KW. And so that was kind of nice for me at least, because I'm actually interviewing today Cyberbacker at, I think, right after my call with Teresa this afternoon. So I'm looking to add somebody to my data or to my business because I can't do this anymore. And so my call with John the other day was actually, when is it time to hire somebody? Because I constantly fall in the cycle of, I have no business. So I market, lead generate. And then I get, right now I have 12 clients and I'm by myself. I have 12 active clients. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 closings. I have 2 active listings. I have 2 more listings that'll be up in 2 weeks. And then I've got 2 active buyers that are, so what's next? And John's recommendation was you need 4 clients that are active for 3 months. which I have right now. I mean, not all these people are going to close in the next 30 days. It'll probably take me about 3 months to get these people all closed. And so that was the driver for me in hiring, or at least starting to interview to hire a virtual assistant to take paperwork off.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I'll see if we can get you guys some kind of recording or some kind of something, but it was awesome because it was all Zoom like this. So it was really good. Does anybody else have anything that they are challenged with this week? No? Okay, so Nadine and Tara, I'll let you do what my challenge is this week. The listing appointment I'm going on today, I already know exactly what I'm walking into because the client asked me if I was willing to cut my commission because the other agent I'm up against is. And I've already told her no. I made that very clear before I walked in the house, but that's always a big one. And I don't know about you guys, but I am hearing this a ton right now from agents. Like I showed an unlisted property yesterday and the first thing out of her mouth was, you know, it's going to be a really great deal for your client because I'm only charging 1%, and my jaw hit the ground. Well, it's $1 million home. So I guess to her, 1% for the selling agent is a lot of money, but I mean, I'm worth more than that. I don't know about you guys, but so do you guys want to, Tara and Nadine, do you guys want to take that script? Because I know if y'all are running into it as much as I am, it's very relevant in our market right now.
Actually, our OP and he has a really large team in our office and in the area. He's been advertising that you can choose your own commission. I don't know the details on it, but you can choose. I'm sure you have to sign with them to buy, but you can do 3%, 2%, 1%, or no listing commission. The level, it's like a menu of services though. At no commission, you know, you're going to handle X,
it's a
Y,
Duffy
Z.
listing.
Yeah, I mean, and then at 1% we'll do X, Y, Z, and at 2% this is what we'll do, and 3% we'll take care of everything like we normally would.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's like the special they've been running for May and June listings.
Gosh, that must make it tough for agents competing in their office for business against them. That's really, so why don't you be my agent, since that's something that you're going to be. You've got this, Nadine. You've got it. And Tara, why don't you be the client?
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. I know you can do it. I have total faith in you. All right, guys, go ahead.
Well, Tara, you've got a great house here, and I'm confident we can get it under contract here quick. So are you ready to sign the paperwork so we can move forward?
Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, before we sign the paperwork, I want to talk about commission because I really don't want to pay the full commission, the 3% commission. Okay,
so the commission will be a total of 6% because it's going to be 3% for the agent who brings the buyer and 3% for the agent for me. And all the work that I'll be doing. So tell me a little bit about what is it that concerns you about that commission rate?
Yeah, because I want to get the most money from, you know, I'm selling and I want to buy.
Right.
And I get the most money.
Okay.
So will you take the commission?
Hey, we're all in the business to make the maximum amount of money, and that's actually what I want to do for you, is make sure I'm getting you the maximum amount of money. Let me ask you this. What do you do again, Tara?
Oh, financial advisor.
Excellent. Okay, so you are really into finances and the bottom line numbers. Yeah. So what do you charge your clients?
Well, it's based off of what they sign up for. We have different you know, commissions that we use in order when they sign up for a product.
Okay, so it depends on the amount of work that you're going to do and what they want to get out of meeting with you, right?
Sure. Mhm.
Yeah, so similarly, I think our job can be similar in that if an agent comes in and says, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut my commission, I'm not sure that they're going to offer you the best service that's possible. Most of the work, I can't tell you that all of the agents do the same amount of work, because they don't. There are good agents and there are bad agents out there. I take pride in my work, and that's why I take pride in the income that I make from my work. I never want to feel like I didn't do a good job for it. And so if I'm going to sit here in front of you and say, yes, I'm going to go ahead and cut my commission, how am I going to make sure to get you, how invested am I to get you the most amount of money? Just because I cut my commission doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the most amount of money. And any agent who's going to tell you otherwise, I would question their motives in that. I'm out of ideas.
No. So I'll stop you. So there's a Keller Williams script for this. There's actually 2 of them that I use, and you did a phenomenal job. You were a very assertive listener. You listened, you repeated, you acknowledged everything that she had that was a concern. So the 2 scripts that I use, and this is what got me the interview. So when the lady said to me that I was getting, I was up against somebody who was going to cut the commission, I said, I totally understand that. And I understand how making the most money for your sale of your home would be important to you. But let me ask you a question. Do you think the person who's willing to cut their commission and not able to negotiate for themselves is going to really be able to negotiate the largest sale of your life? And she went, oh, well, I guess that's a really good point. And then I immediately follow that up with, and I like to be in front of somebody, because you can have $6, right? Like my team leader, he runs this like all the time. He does the script. He has 6 $1 bills. He says, now listen, this is how this commission is going to get split up. $3 are going to go to the buyer's agent. If I do cut my commission, and a lot of agents do, a lot of times they actually cut the buyer's commission, which means they're not getting their full $3. Did you know most buyer's agents won't show your property if they're not getting their full commission? And then all of a sudden the light bulb kind of goes off. And then what he says is, and he says, now let me show you how I'm going to break down my commission. My office is going to take 30%. They're going to take $1. So that leaves me 2%, and I can't stop from paying them. They are going to take their money first. They cut my check. The second $1 is going to go to Uncle Sam. You and I know that I can't stop Uncle Sam from taking his $1 either. That comes directly out of my check. So that leaves me 1% to market your home and to feed my family. That also leaves 1% for any other agent out there that's doing that. So what do you think the other agent is going to cut if you don't leave them that 1% to feed their family and market your home? And then you let them answer that question. And all of a sudden they go, oh, ooh, so what does marketing my home look like? And then I go into what I'm going to do to market their home. And I'm going to take professional pictures. I'm going to bring in a stager. I'm going to do paid Facebook ads. And I have a whole sheet that I use in my listing presentation that shows exactly what I'm going to do to market the home.
Could you share that sheet?
I can share my listing presentation with Teresa, and she can send it out to you guys.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does that script kind of help a little bit? Like the whole, well, if they can't negotiate for their own salary, how are they going to negotiate for you? What is that going to look like on the back end? And then the breakdown of the percentages of how you're going to disperse that money once it comes to you. Does that kind of help on that at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys want to maybe?
Yes.
Do you guys maybe want to run those 2 scripts just to get a little bit of practice, and then maybe Diane and John and Beth can run it just to get a little bit of practice, just since they're so. And I gave you a little bit more time than 3 minutes actually, since there's so few of us today.
Is there a way that we can upload that script too that you're talking about, the Keller Williams script, or where do we find that?
What?
I get lost. I get so lost in there still. You know, there's so many spots.
Yes, that is a bold script.
Okay,
If
I went to bold, so I should be able to find it.
Yep.
If you can't, I would, let me actually write
I'll
myself.
ask Teresa. If I can't find it, I'll ask Teresa.
It's there, and if not, I can kind of type something up. I mean, I take the scripts that I'm given, and I don't robotically regurgitate them. I kind of make them my own, so I can kind of type that up if she doesn't have something. But let me write myself a note, and I'll ask her when we get off the phone.
Yeah, this is a good one to work with the price. I think we've kind of changed the way we do our listing presentation over the last few months, and we go right after like what we're going to do for them. And I think there were a few that I think they may have gone after the commission, but by the time we got done telling them everything that we're going to do, they just didn't even, it was like oh, by the way, what's the commission? And they were like, okay with it.
Correct.
You know,
and I don't address.
Yeah,
most of the time, if you've got a strong listing presentation and you take over as soon as you walk in, they're not even going to ask you that question. But there are the ones that do, and a lot of times you get caught on the phone before they'll even let you in the house.
Right, and this is a good one to practice because John and I are just great at just going, okay, we drop our drawers. It's stupid.
No,
you know?
Not to 1% though.
No. And you've got to be willing to walk away, right? And that brings me back to the whole John thing that I was talking to him about before when he told me, Laura, you need 12 active clients. Like you need 3 months worth of, 4 closings a month to be able, because if you've got 12 clients, well, I had a buyer tell me the other day that he found a property out of my range that I service. Well, I had shown him property for 2 days. Yeah, I was aggravated, but okay. Well, then I don't need to waste my time on you. I'm not going to deal with, like, that doesn't hurt my feelings. I was able to move on because it was, it sucks losing a commission, but it didn't devastate my business.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
I found the script. I don't know. Is there any way I can,
is it on your computer?
No.
It's not? Okay.
I found it in my bold binder.
Gotcha. Well, since you've got the bold binder right in front of you, why don't you be the agent again? And let's just replay that script with a buyer kind of asking questions and Sarah be the agent. And then, like I said, we'll let John, Beth, and Diane kind of do the same thing since you guys seem to be liking this particular script. And I think it's relevant for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Tara and Nadine, go ahead. You guys go first again.
Okay.
So Tara, other than reducing my commission, is there any other reason you wouldn't list with me today?
No, there's no other reason.
So great. So what I hear you saying is you want to net the most money possible. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, every seller that decides to choose me wants the same thing. See, many people think that they will get the same price regardless of who's conducting the negotiations, which we already know isn't true. Otherwise, top companies wouldn't pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to hire the best negotiators. The other agent has already shown you their negotiation skills by giving up their own money. What will happen when you ask them to take care of your money? Won't they give it away faster than they gave away their own money? I think you prefer a bulldog like me that will watch your money and negotiate on your behalf, right?
Right.
I don't know that I could say that because I don't view myself as a bulldog. But
Well, and that's where tailoring these scripts to what works for your person, because I am a bulldog, but I'm never going to tell anybody that, right?
Yeah.
When you meet me, you think I'm like the nicest person ever.
there's two other like ways that you can word it. Do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead and read it. Yep. And I found my bold flash drive, so I have it here.
Yeah.
I'll be able to send it to you guys.
It says, I understand your hope to save money, and it sounds like you're interested in putting the most money in your pocket. Is that right?
Right.
See, Tara, the multiple listing service shows the average agent in your city today is negotiating at 95% of the list price. The same multiple listing service shows me at 99.2%. So you can see that I get sellers more money than the average agent. So if you are interested in placing more money in your pocket, then hire me to negotiate for you. I guess you'd really have to know your numbers there to be able to fill in that blank and know what you're doing. And then
Do you guys all know your numbers? Learn them. Learn them. That is a very, very powerful tool in a listing presentation. When I didn't have, because I just this year moved to more listings than buyers, so I used to use my office numbers, and I used to get caught all the time with, oh, what are your numbers? What are your numbers? And so I learned them, and I sell at 99% of list price in 14 days. In Atlanta's market, it's 96% of list price is the average FMLS sale.
Sweet.
Yeah. So then I'm able to follow that up with, you know, an agent that gets 96% of their list price. I'm going to get you 3% more. So you might be paying me 2% more in commissions in commissions than you'd pay them. But even after you pay them, I'm still getting you 1% more in your sales price than what they're getting you. And that's why it's so powerful to be able to know what your sales price is compared to list price based on your average market. Because then you can use that with them. Great, I understand. I hear what you're saying, and I hear that netting the most money is important to you. So did you know the average agent in Atlanta's market sells a house for about 96% of what they list it for? Okay. Well, did you know that I actually sell houses for 99% of what I list for? Did you know the average agent takes 32 days to sell their house in Atlanta's market? It takes me an average of 14. So not only am I going to net you 3% more than what they're going to net you on your sales price, I'm going to get it done 14 days faster. And so what we hear in our office all the time is if you don't know those numbers, or if your numbers don't look that good, use your office, use your team. You know, my team gets 99% of list price, and your team leader should know those numbers if you don't. Okay. All right, Diane, John, and Beth, do you guys want to do the same? And we'll flip roles.
Sure.
Diane, you can be the seller, and John and Beth, you guys can be the agent. All right, let me start my timer. Hold on 1 second.
All right, what point do we start at?
What do you mean?
What point in the conversation do you want us to start at?
Oh, you guys know each other. You're trying to get, you're trying to get the listing. You're trying to get in for the interview or whatever. She's talked to a few agents. She wants to interview you guys, but ... There's the request for the commission cut. So that's what I would say. Let's start and let me reset that. All right, go.
All right, where do I start? I got to figure out at what point in the so we're having a conversation, and now Diane brings up the commission.
So Diane, why don't you start by saying, hey, so I want you guys to come out, right, but ...
Okay.
Hey Beth, I'm already interviewing other agents, and I wanted you all to have an opportunity to come and talk to me about what you can do for me to get my house listed.
I totally appreciate that. When is a good time for me to swing by?
I'm available today at 3 o'clock or tomorrow at 4.
3 o'clock today would definitely work.
Okay, I will see you then. You have my address, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Is she gonna go?
Diane, tell her, ask her if she'll cut her commission before she comes in. Let her deal with that before she comes in.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, and Beth, by the way, you will cut your commission, right?
Well, that's why I'd like to come see you in person, and what I'd like to do is run through what we do for you and how we break all of that down. So I would really love to sit down with you and show you the value as hiring our team.
Okay, well, again, some of the other agents already said that they would cut their commission, so I just wanted to get your feedback on that. But okay, I'll be willing to listen to what you have to offer.
Okay, sounds good. So let's just try to go right after it then. So now let's just pretend we're there, or are we going to continue with this?
No, you just pretend like you're there. That's perfect.
Okay, all right. Okay, so first I'd like to run through how our team works, how we're going to market your home. A lot of agents that will go right after the commission generally don't do as thorough of a marketing job as we do. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of work that goes into it on the back end. We like to keep our sellers informed as to what all those steps are. So I'd like to share with you how we're going to earn the commission that you will be paying. It's our job to sell your house in the shortest amount of time for the most amount of money. And being able to market it effectively allows us to be able to do that. Our average list to sale price in our area is 98.6%. And the average agent in our area is 94%. So we bring our sellers more money for the transactions than the average agent in the area does. And our average listing time is 33 days, and in our market it's 68 days. So we sell our homes more than twice as fast as the other ones, and we bring them more money. So that alone is going to, basically make up the difference and then some for them cutting their commission. And as far as negotiating, John, he's kind of a pit bull with negotiating. He does all of our negotiating. And, I guess I would question the integrity of them being so willing to cut their commission immediately, how are they going to actually negotiate your money for you when the time comes?
Right. Well, exactly. And I'm glad that you were able to share with me your statistics, because that's important to me. Getting my house sold as quickly as possible for the best and highest price is the most important thing to me.
Right. And sometimes commission isn't the best way. I mean, people look at it and say, oh my gosh, these agents make so much money. By the time we pay our market center, we pay our taxes and, pay for all the marketing, there's a lot of money that goes into how we market your home between video, photography, ads that we run. We have staff that is supporting you. I know when we last spoke, I told you we're in constant communication with you, and we have, our admin, she goes through and calls every agent that shows your home. So we're paying her to get that feedback so that we can tell you what's going on. So there's a lot of moving parts behind it. We're not just sitting there getting fat on these commissions by any means.
Right.
We definitely earn our keep.
Okay. And then what about open houses? Do you do those as well for me?
Open houses, we leave at the discretion of the seller. We like to run open houses. But we have some sellers that don't like them. If you are open to them, we would love to run them. To be quite honest with you, open houses are kind of a strange thing. Less than 5% of houses sell directly from an open house. But why we like to run open houses is it kind of creates a buzz, because the general public doesn't think, they think that houses sell at open houses, and rarely do they, quite frankly. But what it'll do is it will encourage them to get out with their agent to see it. So anytime we book an open house, we see an influx in showings where you've got the serious buyers coming in through their agent. So it's almost a ploy to get more buyers into your home that are actual serious buyers, rather than the lucky loos that will tend to come through the open house.
Well, and that's good to know. But I do know, since I am in marketing, that a lot of, 95% of the people shop online before they even come to the house. So the pictures are very important to me as well. I mean, do you have a professional photographer that's going to be doing videos and taking?
Yep, when we spoke last, that's exactly what I went through. And then when I can come see you, I can actually show you some of the pictures from some of our past listings of our photographer, and show you some videos. Because there's a lot of agents that cut corners there, and they think just because they have a nice fancy iPhone, they can take these pictures. And we will not list a house unless we have professional photography ready. And that is the only way we list homes. And it doesn't matter if it's a tiny little condo.
Okay.
Great job. So Nadine, Tara, feedback?
I liked something you said in the beginning. You said, I want to earn the listing, or you used the word earn. And I never thought to use that word, and that one kind of stuck out with me. So I like that.
Well, I have great feedback for you too. You immediately went to those statistics, which is what I was going to bring up. But you did it before I was able to ask you. So that put me at rest, thinking, okay, well, she knows what she's doing.
Hey, we just learned that in the last couple of months. We're like, oh, gee, what a concept.
And that was fabulous. I'm with Nadine. I love the way you said that you wanted to earn her business.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you let her know that you're not expecting anything from her. You're there to work from her, where these other agents are already willing to be a discount agent just to give her a sale, right? All of a sudden they turn into Walmart and you turn into Neiman's Market.
Yeah.
One other thing that I think also you gave a lot of information, and I was nodding my head, but I didn't get to say anything. Maybe stop and say, does that work for you? You know,
Right.
make sure that you're getting the reassurance, even though I'm nodding my head. Stop and take a breath and ask, does that work for you? Does that sound
Well, you
like
know me already. I just get on a roll.
I know, I'm like, right?
Well,
Do you
I
think
think
it's good or bad to give your other stats as far as how many properties you did last year and the volume you did last year?
I love that stat. So the average agent in Atlanta sells 8 properties. I sold 17. All of a sudden, you know, when you tell somebody that, they're like, whoa. And to me, 17 houses is like we should all be selling like 60 houses. Like it's really easy to do what we do. We just have to be willing to lead generate.
Right.
And so for me, 17 houses is like, Laura, you suck. But to the rest of the world that says she's doing double the amount of work that everybody else is doing, she's got to know what she's doing. So I always give those stats. What about the rest of you guys? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. And if my stats doesn't look good, then I just use the office stats. I mean, and I did 20, and I think that seems low. So I'm like, but you know, it's our perspective of things, and our clients don't look at it the same way. They're like, oh wow, you're active.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I did like all the information that you shared, and I like how you went into how you will use your dollars, like marketing. You have a transaction coordinator who's going to be following up on all the showings and things like that. So
Following the agent.
yeah, the agents. So I think when you show how their dollars will be used, or communicate how dollars will be used, they're like, oh, okay, I'm not just.
Well, they don't work for free. They actually have expenses. Because I think really some people, they think we like put on MLS and, you know, we just sit back and wait for closing and get paid. You know, so since we've kind of incorporated a couple of those things in our listing agreement this past year, it's definitely helped. And like I say, there was some we've walked into where we just thought they were going after the commission just from, you know, earlier on conversations, and then they say nothing. So that's helped us some, but you still get the ones that are adamant about it, you know. And if you don't get it, you don't get it, because a lot of times the ones that are going to cut your commissions are going to be your biggest pains in the butts anyways, you know.
Yeah.
They're brutal.
Absolutely.
I have to agree. The ones that ask you to cut their commission, they want you to cut everything, you know. And then they expect more than what you're able to provide based on what the market's saying, and they don't want to take a reduction in their, you know, their listing price. A lot of times they want to list too high, and it's better to just walk away. I mean, I walked away from a $1.3 million listing last year because of that, and it was 1.15, and I told him I'd take the listing, but I wouldn't cut my commission at 1.3, but in 30 days he would have to he'd have to drop his price down to 1.1, where I told him the house would sell. And in 30 days he didn't, and so we severed ties. He took an agent who was willing to cut his commission. He's still on the market today for $860,000.
Wow. Well, better him than you.
Yeah.
Correct. And use stuff like that. Do y'all ever use like data like that? Like I use it all the time. Like, here's what happens when you overprice a home. You know, or
we're getting better about incorporating that. We didn't used to, but we've been studying that better, and it's a lot of them listen. Some of them it still kind of like grazes them where it doesn't grasp. But then in a future conversation, you can bring that up and say, "Remember when we talked about that? Well, here's where we are." we recently had one where the husband was adamant about where to list. And I mean, this was like beating a dead horse to the point where I went in, I did not write the listing price on the listing agreement because my gut just told me the wife and John and I thought we had him sold, and my gut said we didn't. So they signed everything. I said, all right, magic number, what are we doing? And he went right after the number he wanted. And I looked him right in the eye and says, you got 7 days. I'm like, 7 days? Because remember we talked about when you're the shining star, it's a new listing. I said, you have 7 days. And if we don't have a contract, we're going to our price. And the wife's like, yes, you know, and he's like, all right, we didn't get any offers. We had good activity. We dropped it to our price. We had multiple offers, and it was only $5,000, but it's a mental thing. It was just, we were stretching it at our price, let alone his price. And the wife took great pleasure in saying, see, you should have listened to John and Beth.
Well, and that brings me back to what we kind of talked about last week, what you guys were asking, if you have 14 showings in 14 days, it usually means, and I think I sent Teresa that slide to send out, I don't know if she did or not, but it usually means you're 3 to 5% too high. So, you know, $5,000 is probably right in that little bit too high. And that's something that you can share with your clients.
Yep.
You know what your market stats are as far as, okay, you know, in Atlanta's market, if you've had 14 showings in the 2-week time frame, and that, you know, that those first 2 weeks, and you don't have an offer, you're probably about 3% too high, and you drop it. And, you know, I had a listing I did that on the other day. We dropped it, and I think I'm getting an offer today.
Nice. And then the crazier thing was, we got an offer when we dropped it to the 270, and he wanted 275, and we didn't get offers. We got an offer at 272.9. So that was even funnier about it.
I love it. I love it.
It was like, yeah. So we were really eating that up, you know. But he takes it really well. So we've had a lot of stabs with it, but you know, it was pretty comical. But he was easy, where, you know, you get the ones that have amnesia where they won't drop it then.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you guys go into what is your bottom line?
What do you mean?
And then they tell you what do they want to walk away with?
I'm sorry, the computer cut out again. Can you ask the question again?
Yeah, so I always ask the question, so what do you want to walk away with? And they'll say, okay, we need to walk away with X amount. Okay, so if you walk away with X amount, is it really a concern in terms of how much we're getting paid, because we're doing the work to make sure you walk away with what you want to walk away with? I've used that a couple of times, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a great line as well. The only thing I would do is err on the side of caution of ever taking a listing where someone has a bottom line where they have to walk away if the market doesn't show that they can walk away with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it is 12 o'clock. You guys did fabulous. Does anybody else have any feedback, any other comments, anything otherwise?
Oh, it was great.
Well, thanks for hanging with me. I was nervous.
Oh, you
Laura,
did
you-
Laura,
great.
you did an awesome job. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Thanks,
Moving on
guys.
up.
Moving on up.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.